In this Moron Reviews, we're going to do Faith versus Fact by Jerry A. Kona. I guess that's how you pronounce his last name. I don't know. And I know according to some people that's a microaggression because you mispronounce someone's last name. Who cares? I mean, seriously. Microaggression. What a bunch of nonsense. But anyways, feel free to like, subscribe, or dislike. Feel free to leave a comment. I don't read comments. Feel free to check the description. Follow the link to my website or whatever. But, okay, this is the Moron Reviews of Faith versus Fact. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is a very, very, very good book. My favorite is, of course, The Foundational Falsehood of Creationism. But this is a pretty good book. It's very concise on why science and religion are incompatible. I'm not going to go through all of his points, but I believe they're very valid, and I, of course, agree science and religion are invalid. And also, religion and evolution is invalid. Well, at least Christianity, because think about it. If things evolve, then it can't really be original sin because there's no Adam and Eve. No Adam and Eve, no original sin. What's the point of Jesus dying on the cross to forgive sins? And I've already gotten into that in other videos. But I like the point that he makes about faith, not just in religion. He tells you, any type of faith, like Social Justice Warriors, they're nonsense. The problem is you can't back up what you're saying. You have no real way to back up the nonsense that you're saying. Therefore, you become authoritative and dogmatic, and you believe you're right. And you don't want to listen to anyone else's viewpoints. I mean, think about these Hollywood people. They've been cushioned all their lives, or most of their lives. They're extremely wealthy. Of course they're okay with illegal immigration. Same with these politicians. They don't got to deal with lower wages and all this other stuff that they bring. They don't know what it's like to live like everybody else. And I'm not going to get into it in this video, but they don't know. Science, and he gives you a good idea, why science, and I made a video about why science is buried in people's ideology and religion. I've already made that video. Feel free to check it out. But I 100% agree with everything he said in this book. Of course, and that's why, a lot of times I'll say, if you want to relearn history, you have to learn it outside of your college classroom. I'm not saying that, your professor's lying to you or any of that. That's not true. It's just that you can get more in-depth history by reading other history books. Ask your professor, your college professor, about books outside, outside. Ask your professor, that's why, ask your professor, for books outside the classroom. If you're taking history, for example, as I was just saying, hopefully it recorded, I don't know, this thing was kind of messing up a few seconds ago, but, you got to learn history outside the classroom. I'm not saying because, your professor this and that. No, I'm not saying that. It's just, if you want to learn history, you're going to get your professor's opinions. And it's usually going to be white history, white people this, white people that, white people are bad, and all this nonsense. You should go out to your local bookstore and get books on, I take Middle Eastern history. You'll get to see some of the nasty stuff Arabs have done, Muslims have done to others. Learn what Japanese and the Koreans and Chinese. I mean, no ethnicity is perfect. You don't want to get dogmatic in your ideology. That's why you got to learn, go outside and learn. But I'm not, I agree. This book is very good. And like I was just saying, by history, and make sure, ask your professor. Your professor probably can give you some good ideas, and read this book. It's a very good book. It's, check out the lot. Let's see if I can find. Well, there's no way I'm going to actually find it. I mentioned it in another video before. I wish I remember the name of the video that I did. But I mentioned the name of it. It's basically a Soviet geneticist. I forget his name. I learned about it when I took genetics. So one second, because I probably can find it in my genetics book. Here it is, right here. Just look this up. This is what happens when you get dogmatic in your beliefs. Look that up. Of course, here's the book. I got it from Genetics, Concepts of Genetics, 5th edition. Klug and Cummings. Because I'm a molecular biologist, just so you know. This is a very good book, but we're not going to get into the Lysenko affair. But you know, it's what happens when you get dogmatic in your beliefs. You don't actually do any research and everything, and your ideology is not peer reviewed. That's why I like science. Science is peer review. Science does not care about your opinions, you know. Science is peer reviewed. So obviously, you know, you can trust science more than you can trust some social justice warriors, some Hollywood elitists that thinks that they're right about everything and they're better than everybody. And I'm just going to do this because I know nobody's watching this video at this point, so I'm just going to do this. You know, because, you know, it's just kind of fun. First off, never mind, I'm not going to do it. Bye.